Good
Hey, good
morning.
morning, everybody. Good morning, Milagros. How are you?
Good. Another Thursday with Georgiana live.
Yay,
Welcome.
exactly. Thank you for joining me here. It's always so much fun to have our Thursday morning chats. We've got our coffee.
Yeah.
I have cake.
Oh,
Don't judge me.
I'm not doing that. I'm actually jealous.
You have a protein shake somewhere there. I know it. Or a green, Aspira green power smoothie.
I only eat so little. That is probably shameful.
It's
But
okay. I'll help you clean out the fridge.
my cheat meal is coming in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, so
Oh, good. So I'll visit in three
yeah.
weeks. We can do cheat meal together.
Eat all you can eat in 2 hours.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Just 2 hours? I thought you were supposed to get like a cheat day where for that day
Oh, meal.
I would undo my entire diet.
It's not breakfast, lunch, and dinner cheat time. One, you get one shot.
Dang, so you better make it a good one.
Yes. So we are talking about today, just focusing on the big picture, focusing on the big picture. And
You
we
think
have,
about your goals.
yes, we have a product review, an amazing product review today that we can't wait to share. But also, I would like to invite you to watch Georgiana on her YouTube live every day from Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. I call it my date with Georgiana. My
Yeah, I just
date.
come to your house, I invite myself over and we watch on TV.
Carlos is right there, so he's like, "Oh, it's 8. Georgiana's time." Yes.
No
Good
schedule.
morning. Good morning, Kimberly. How are you? Thank you for joining and for saying hello. Um, yes, we're trying to just pump our day, and these calls are just exciting. I get to have a lot of fun. So thank you, and thank you everyone for watching us every Thursday at 11:15. So let's get started.
Yeah. So it's funny that we decided today that we wanted to talk about the big picture. Milagros had a story to share about how the big it just happened to be a coincidence that an anniversary came up. So I thought it might be a good idea to share because I feel like especially at this time, right now we're going into fourth quarter, October. We have 3 months left to the year. So whatever goals you had set for 2020, 2020 is almost over. We have 3 months left. So I always think of this time as a great time to, every 3 months, every 90 days, essentially, I have a habit of reviewing my goals, but I think that it's so important, even within those, 90-day increments, to kind of keep your focus on what you want to accomplish far off, whether it's at the end of the year, at the end of 3 years, at the end of 5 years, at the end of 10 years, because
Yeah.
those are the things that keep you going on these, small daily grind increments. Because if you don't have anything to focus on in the big picture in the long run, then first of all, you're not going to know what activities to plan into your day. Your schedule is going to be helter skelter. And we talked about this 2 or 3 weeks ago. We talked about setting your goals and how to create a schedule. I think it was last week we did
Mhm.
scheduling. Yeah, setting smart goals.
Three, yeah, the SMART goal and the three basic
Right.
fundamentals.
And I
And
keep it in my planner. I still have them on my planner page. So every time I start a new day, I keep those goals with me. We open up to the page, setting your goals to keep you motivated, creating a schedule for consistency, and doing training so that you're confident in your work. So that's actually on my daily page. So when I open my planner on that day, it's right here so I can see it. So it's so super important to just have your goals in front of you. So Millie, for you, how has having goals either gotten you through a rut or helped you to keep your focus on what you needed to do in your business?
I'm bigger on long-term goals than I am on short-term goals. Even though I set both of them, the short-term goals is something that you want just fast, and you're working at it. You're saving your money. You're saving for that goal. But the long term, it's like it keeps you motivated. When you look at your agenda and you see your goals, it's an excitement. It's a way to stay motivated. So I want to share a story. I have shared it in the past, but today, October 1st, but back then on 2013, amazing. When I open my memories, October 1st, 2013, actually, my husband was the one who told me, he says, I want to read this to you. And it came from you. And I talked about working on a 6-year plan for retirement. So back in 2013, as I can remember, we were not financially stable. We were struggling. Our Avon business was not thriving, even though it was growing and the motivation was there. We still didn't have the earnings. So, for me, saying something, it holds me so accountable and so focused, because who wants to say something and then fail?
Right.
Right? So for me, credibility on what I'm doing, on dreaming big, on telling everyone what I want and how I'm going to get there, it holds me accountable. It holds me motivated. So I said that in 6 years that my husband Carlos was going to retire. And and then when I looked at that, I was like, so do you believe me now? Do you believe me when I told you that? And I shared this with my team so many times. I would share, listen, we're working on a 6-year plan. We're working on Carlos to retire in 6 years. And we just stay focused on that. And, little did we know that last month, this dream came true, almost 7 years later. So that's the power of, focusing on the big picture. You know, it's like a lot of us focus on, okay, I want a title. For example, I want a title to goal leader. So you're working hard to getting to getting title. Set that goal in a place where it's long term. But then the short term is getting to the activities that you need to do to be able to accomplish that big goal. Because we all know that, growing title, earning money, increasing earnings is not an overnight thing. Even though we want it to be, we want to, become millionaires tomorrow. I'm impulsive. I want everything just now.
I think it's human nature.
Yeah. But I think that everyone should really focus on the long term, on the big picture, and not be afraid to say what it is that you want to accomplish.
That's one thing that you always drive home, sharing your goals. Good morning, Nita.
Hi, Nita. Yes.
For you, I think it's great that, well, I mean, you were bold enough to put it on social media. But for your husband, Carlos, to be sort of your accountability partner, like you were opening up for everybody to share. I feel like that's so good that you're at that comfort level. And I love that you do that and that other people can kind of get on board and see the results of the goals that you share. But even like, not everybody is so comfortable sharing to the whole world, but at least have one accountability partner or a small group of accountability partners, a mastermind. You always talk about how when we get together, you could consider it your mastermind, but
Yes.
having us either a group of people or a single person that you can share your goals with, I think that makes such a huge difference as well. Because, like you said, you mentioned the word accountability. When you speak your goals to someone else,
Hmm.
sometimes we're afraid to do it because we think to ourselves, well, we don't want to say it out loud because what if we fail? Then we're going to look silly. And I feel the same way too. Sometimes, oftentimes, I know for me in the past, when we have those Avon incentive trips, of course, you want to earn it. Who doesn't want to travel for free? But I always feel like there's this little small voice in my heart. Like when we start sharing, okay, I'm working towards this trip, or I have it in my goal to earn next year's trip, or, I want to travel for free, whatever, however you say it. I know there's like this little voice sometimes that's like, don't put that on social media because if you don't make it, all of your friends are gonna be like, oh, Georgie, you said you're gonna do. And I gotta be honest with you, I've never seen that. Sometimes I've shared a goal and I've missed it, and it has never been where my real friends, because I know Milagros doesn't believe in haters, so I need to find a different term for it. But you have people in your life who are there, and you have real friends. The real friends are really only the people that matter. But your real friends, their response is always, "That's all right, you'll get it next time," or
Yeah.
"It doesn't matter because you still push yourself further than you would if you weren't going for that goal." The phrases and the terminology and the the responses that they use sound totally different. And sometimes I have to remind myself, go ahead and speak your goals out loud, share it with people. Don't be afraid because it will hold you accountable. You will be like, studies have shown, like scientific proof is there. Google it, that when you share a goal, you're more likely to accomplish it. When you set a goal, that's real, you're more likely to do it. When you keep it to yourself, because it's kind of secret, you secretly give yourself an escape because you're like, well, I didn't share with anybody. So if nobody knows,
Insecurity.
yeah,
It feels insecurity, and that's exactly what it is. And it's what you said about, in the back of your mind when you have a goal and you say, "Oh, if I don't achieve it, people are going to laugh at me." But it's like, I rather that happen than having to deal with myself saying that I didn't try. Yeah, you can't. That feeling that at least I tried.
yeah,
Now it wasn't because I was afraid of losing. I was afraid of not going for
yes. That
it.
that resonates. Yeah, I used to say it a lot. Don't take yourself out of the running for things. You deserve it. You deserve to get all the things that you have on your dreams list. The only person, like, if you try for it and you miss it, then maybe it just wasn't in the writing for you. I always believe that if I set my mind towards something and I don't get it, then there's something better out there for me. That's what I tell myself. But if you don't even try for it, then the only person who took that away from you was yourself.
Yes. And it's not because, like, when I look at a goal and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna earn that trip. It's just like we all love to travel. You love to travel with Avon, the best company that treats you like queen. I couldn't afford the Avon trips.
No.
So, we say, I'm going to go for it. But you know what? We have other priorities. Maybe something else comes up that, you have to prioritize your big rocks.
Yeah.
So maybe the earning that trip, even though it's there, you have other priorities that you must focus on, but you still on in the reins. And you never know, because sometimes the big rocks appear, but that goal that you had there in mind is going to happen because you have visualized it so much and you have attracted so many opportunities that, I mean, it's just bound to happen.
Yeah. And that's why it's important as well to again create that big goal, because maybe your goal is something else, and then a small whether it's a trip or an incentive or something more I don't want to say small in terms of importance, but small in terms of like being a short term goal,
Mhm.
maybe it's not in line with your overall goal. And then you kind of have, like you said, you have to look at it and say, okay, well, am I going to focus on this thing, or am I going to keep my eye on the big prize? And you always want to keep your eye on the big prize, because in the long term, you have to keep that trajectory towards your goal. You can't let anything cause you to veer off. And it may sound like it's, an amazing thing, but if it doesn't keep you towards your long-term goal, then it may not be the thing for you. So I love that you shared that as well, not as an escape or an excuse or an outlet,
Mhm.
but just as a way to say to people, your goals are going to be different from everyone else's.
Yeah.
Maybe Georgiana is talking about earning the next trip and going crazy, but that's her goal, not your goal.
Mhm.
Maybe somebody is talking about taking their family to Disney World. That's their goal. That's not your goal. My family is grown. They can go to Disney on themselves. Buy your own ticket, go by yourself. That's not my goal. So, I mean, as much as I love to take my family on a trip, I have to say, well, where do I want to take my family? Where
Mhm.
do we want to go? Is it Rome? Is it Europe? Is it just like a quiet, off the road Adirondacks? No, but no, what? Well, no, I need to be where there's Wi-Fi, but camping trip that's off the beaten road. You have to make for yourself your own goal and share it. I a few years ago when I was in college. Okay, let me rewind a little bit further than that. When I was a senior in high school, I did not have a savings plan. I did not have money set aside. My family didn't have money set aside for me to go to college. So ever since I was a kid, I knew I had to go to college. It was just a rule my mom set. We didn't have money for it, but I knew I needed to go to college. That was a plan for me. That was a goal that my mother, there's a seed my mom planted, and a goal that she set for me. You got to go to college. I don't care
Okay.
how you get there, but you got to do it. So you got to go there. You have to graduate. There's no dropping out. I knew I could not drop out, and I've spoken about this with my mentor, because there was one point where I was just like, I don't think I could do this. The pressure, everything was just too much. And he said to me, so you're going to go home and tell your mom you dropped out of school? And I was just like, I got to find a way to make this work. But it pushed me through that moment, because it was not even an option. I knew I couldn't go home. My bags would be on the street. So you have to set goals like that. But at that time for college, I knew I needed to go. I knew I needed the funds. I found a way to pay for it. But I also knew in the back of my mind, I had, friends who were out of school for 10, 15, 20 years, who are still paying off their student loans and their college debt. That debt had piled up on top of their children's. They were still paying for college and now starting to pay for their children's college. So they had like two levels of student loans that they were paying. And I knew this as a high school student. And one of the things I said to myself, it was like, even sometimes a source of stress, I was like, I don't want to graduate. I don't want to have debt like that after graduation. So, it affected what schools I applied to, because I tried to fix the budget. I did end up going to a private college, which I wish I didn't do now, but the bills were paid. It affected how I worked and how I saved and how I put aside money. I always made sure that I had money set aside to pay my tuition. I didn't travel a lot as a kid. I mean, as a college student, when my other friends were eating at Starbucks and having fast food every day, I was like, I can't do it. I have to. Hey, Suzanne. Good morning.
Morning, Suzanne.
Hi, good morning. I didn't splurge on different things. I did a lot of DIY stuff. I saved. Where I shopped, what I ate, like everything was different, because my big picture goal to, have no debt was different than what other people had. I also knew, like I said, I couldn't drop out of school, so that wasn't an option. So I made sure that I stayed on course with my grades. So I did work. That's actually why I ended up in Avon, because I knew it was a business that I can do that wasn't going to distract me from my schoolwork, because I knew I couldn't drop my grades. Also, because I was on scholarship, if my grades dropped, I'd lose that scholarship and have to find that money as well. But when I'm just trying to lay out to you guys the thought process and how having that big picture goal changes your thoughts on a day-to-day process. So come graduation, graduated, had debt, had put my tuition at points on credit cards because I just did not have the cash. But
Mhm.
I became single-minded about getting out of debt. And even
Mhm.
after graduation, I worked harder, I put more hours in. I did a full-time job. I had my Avon business on the side. I've always worked full-time and part-time because I was adamant about not being in debt. And sure enough, in 2016, you guys, if you followed me on social media, if you know me back then, I was able to pay off all of my debt, all my credit cards, all my student loans. And I didn't realize it at the time that it was such a huge feat, but I shared it on social media.
Yes,
And
you did.
you're
Yes, you did.
and a lot of people came and they said, wow, kudos to you. I'm still struggling
Mm,
with my debt. I'm still, we went to the same school and I'm trying to, I'm trying to figure my way out around those things. And at the time, I didn't feel like it was such a huge thing, but having shared it,
mm-hmm.
being able to inspire other people, being able to hear the stories of other people's struggles and how they got out of debt, it was like a circle. I empowered other people empowered me.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, even though I got out of debt, it's not like, okay, I got out of debt, I'm done. It still stays a daily struggle to stay out of debt.
Out of bed.
But I
Yeah.
still have that big picture goal. There are things that I could do, financial options that I could make, but I'm like, I can't do that because I don't want to be in debt. For you guys who have seen my beater car, the car I used to drive, it was my best friend because it took me to where I needed to go. But my friends were like, Georgie, really? Go
Mhm.
out, take out a loan, get a lease, get a new car, buy a new car, get a modern one. People are giving away cars. I mean, after Hurricane Sandy, when the price of the cars dropped so low because people were just trying to get them off the lots, people said, go get a car. And I was like, no, I can't
No.
because financially, this is going to put me into a level of debt that I don't want to be in. Can I afford it? Probably, but it's going to be a stretch and an investment that I don't want to take. Now, though, last year, 2019, no, what are we in now? As a matter of fact, yeah, end of 2019, early 2020, I was able to get a car, paid for it, all cash. I
Good.
always say God provides, but I
That's
know that,
feeling.
yeah, the feeling is a lot better. Granted, it's not a 2020 car, it's an older version, but I paid for it cash. I don't have to worry about it,
Yeah.
you know? So set those goals, guys. It affects every little thing. If you don't have them, anything that comes up will just lead you astray.
Yeah. And it will deviate from what you're really working after. I see so many people that share, I want to buy my house. I want to buy a house. I want a three-car garage. I want a big yard.
Yeah,
Ta-da!
yeah.
But then it's like, the goal just fades away. And all of a sudden, other things come along. But go look at your big picture, go look at your goal, and just focus on that, attaining that goal, and work on your daily routine, work on your daily activities, because the most important thing about achieving a long-term goal and getting there is believing in yourself. And I know how hard it was when, at least when I started. I made the decision with my husband to leave a full-time job to focus on my Avon business full-time, because I thought that I was there for 8 hours. I could have been doing so much with those 8 hours. And when I took that decision, my family started laughing at me, my friends, like, she's crazy, oh, she's going to become a millionaire with this, with Avon. Oh my gosh, where is she getting that from? And and all of this back talk, and you
Yeah.
know that's part of you seeing the big picture, not listening to anybody, just saying, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to believe in myself. The level of belief that you have to focus on something long term, it's is so powerful. It's not gonna let you give up. I have seen so many people come and go. They go and they come back, they leave again, they come back. And
What is your goal? What are you doing? Right?
exactly. So consistency, keeping your focus and believing in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to go for what you want. And
You I love that you keep saying the same three things over. You gotta go for it, you gotta believe in yourself, you cannot give up.
cannot give up. So, hi, Myra. How are you? Thank you for joining.
Hey,
And
Myra. Hey,
everybody,
Juanita.
thank you so much, you
You know,
guys.
on the flip side too, I think one of the reasons why we wanted to talk to you guys about big picture goals is because these are goals that it takes time. You know, you're talking 5, 10, 15, 20 years
Mhm.
to get to. These aren't, I want to wake up tomorrow and be this. The reason we wanted to talk to you guys about this, we always talk about goals, but we wanted to specifically focus on long-term goals. One, I know Milagros is huge on this, but um, because we wanted to show you guys that it takes time.
Mhm.
Things don't happen overnight. Like it gets easy for us to look at somebody else's finished story. I have a picture that I always share on my social media of the founder of Amazon, Steve Bezos. Is it
Mm,
Bezos? Yeah,
yes.
Bezos, whatever his name is, in this tiny little rundown office. And everybody looks at him as a multi-billionaire founder of Amazon, um, guy now, but nobody is looking at that little guy in that apartment like, okay, I want to be like that guy. Who, regardless of what my situation looks like now, I'm going to keep my eye on what it could be. So we need to constantly tell ourselves, first decide on what it is that you want. And like Milagro said, do those three things. Make sure that you don't give yourself an outlet. There's no opportunity for failure. Pretend you have a mom who's going to put you out on the street, pack your bags and toss you out. Um, believe in yourself. Like, believe in yourself. You have to set yourself up. It's really the ball is in your court. Nobody's gonna come alongside you and hold your hand and say, "Come on, we got to get you to your goals," because everybody else is trying to get to their own goals. We'll work with you and encourage you and there to partner with you, but at the end of the day, we're not with you 24 hours. So you have to be that person for yourself. So set yourself up, follow those three things that Malaga is saying. She's not saying them because it's a list. She's saying them because it's worked for herself.
Mhm.
It's just the essence of her goal setting. And I find it similar. You'll see the similarities in our two stories,
Mhm.
but you have to give yourself time. I think a lot of the times people don't accomplish their goals is because they've given it an unrealistic time frame. And if you haven't watched the video about setting smart goals that we did last week or the week before, go back and watch. It's titled Smart Goals. You'll find it. But watch, because if your goal doesn't have the proper time frame, you're going to start doing crazy things
Oh,
in
yeah.
the illusion of getting to your goal, but they're actually going to hinder you.
Yeah.
Business, entrepreneurship, going for success, these are marathons. They're not sprints. And if you imagine it, I can't remember the name of the guy, but I shared the video the other day. He used this analogy that spoke to me as a person in the design field. He said, it's like trying to build 10 different mansions, one brick at a time, instead
Yeah.
of focusing on building one mansion. If you focus on one thing, you know, your whether it's your one goal or your one company, your one method for reaching your goal, whether it's saving up for a car, a house, vacation, or working extra jobs, whatever that thing is, if you focus on that one thing, you'll get to it faster than if you're trying to do 10 things at once. Think about it. Go in your kitchen right now and find 10 different recipes and try to do all 10 of them at the same time.
Yes.
Be like,
And also this sense of urgency, like I have always had such a sense of urgency. For example, when I started, my husband Carlos was like, "I am not with this Avon thing. You need to go get a job."
thanks, Carlos.
What is this? My wife is gonna be out in the streets talking to people, going door to door, doing events. This is crazy. No, you're gonna go. And I'm like, please just give me 2 years. Give me 2 years. And I see so many people who really have a sense of urgency
Yeah.
and they don't take advantage of it. There's people that leave their job and they say, okay, so I left my job. I have no income right now. I need to make this work. But then they start slacking off, they take it for granted, and all of a sudden the need comes and they're not making money, they're not doing anything for their business. Forget about trying anything else. Now they have to go back to work. Guess what? If you know that you have a sense of urgency, first of all, you have to define that. Defining that sense of urgency, for example, you say, I am getting too old already. I am tired. I can't be on my feet anymore. One example, I can't be on my feet anymore. My job is just taking my health away. So now you have a sense of urgency. When are you going to say, okay, I'm going to have this much time and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to earn this income in this amount of time. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be in 6 months. Allow yourself time to build your business and learn the business, because when you start, it's like, oh, I went out and I was so disheartened. Like, my days, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna recruit 100 people, I'm gonna go and make sales. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened today?
Right. Oh, today was a bust. There was a failure. Yeah.
How many days did we, how many? I mean, I can tell you that when I started, I had so many bad days that I was quitting every day. I'm like,
It's
forget
not going to work.
it. I'm not doing this anymore.
You got to take away any option for out.
Yes, but it was worth it. And you know, one thing that kept me going, I always remember, Bondel McKenzie. She is my Avon idol, okay? And I have talked about her so many times. Bondel McKenzie, when I first joined the leadership program, I was like, and they share her story. Of course, she was earning at the time um, $8,000 every 2 weeks from her leadership earnings. I was like, $8,000 every 2 weeks. Well, guess what? What inspired me the most about her is that she started her Avon career when she was 65. She was 65 years old. And I'm like, not to get someone, not I mean, not that age is anything, because I see 80-year-old people who have more energy than a 20-year-old
It's
person.
inspiring.
Yes. So I was like, here I am. I'm in my 30s. What am I doing? I look at her earning her millions, having a thriving business, and an inspiration for not only people who say, I'm too old to start this, I'm too old.
Perfect.
65 years old, Bonda McKenzie started her leadership business. And when I met her, she was already earning over $8,000 every 2 weeks, and she shared her checks.
Mm.
So, anyone, no one is better than anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone has an opportunity to, number one, learn the business, to stay focused, to be disciplined, to, set these goals. It's something that we can't say, oh, my hip hurts.
Mm-hmm. Find another way.
Yes. Just take care of your hip and keep going, you guys. Keep going. If you have to go in a wheelchair to give out Avon books and bombitas and whatever you have to do, just go for it. But don't feel sorry for yourself because you're at a certain age and you haven't achieved anything, or you just don't feel capable of doing anything. Just start today. Like I see Nita, we get another day to be great. I love that, Nita.
You're never too old. It's never too late. And it's never the wrong time. Like,
Time.
I've been hearing that a lot. I think a lot of people, unfortunately, because of the season we're in with COVID, they've looked at that and said, well, I'm not going to do anything right now because nobody's shopping. Nobody is going out. The office, places are closed. I'm not going to do anything. But on the flip side, I see people who are looking at it and saying, despite the season we're in now, I'm going to find another way to do business. And those are the people who are excelling. They're
Yeah.
working their online businesses. They're converting their customer base to online shopping. They're servicing even more customers. I found that in my business. My
Mhm.
customer base is shifting. I have a lot of customers in California and Texas. I've never even been to Texas. So,
Wow.
you have to be really careful about the words that come out of your mouth. And
Mhm.
if you have your mind where you're determined to reach that goal, then regardless of what season you're in between, they're not going to stop you. You're not going to be too old. It's not going to be too late. It's not going to be the wrong time because that goal will always be in front of you in your future.
Yes, yes. And prove it to yourself. You don't have to prove it to anybody. Prove it
No.
to yourself. If you don't want to put it on social, which I think you should, if you have a goal and you're confident that you're going to do it, have the courage to say it to the world. I'm going to do this, and I am going for it. I don't care what anybody says. I am going for it. So
Find
imagine.
a safe place. Like this, our chats here is a safe place. Go ahead, share your comments in the chat box. What is
Yeah,
your goal? Or
share
in
your
our group?
goal. Yes. What is it that you want to do? Hi, Victoria. Good morning. I see a lot of you coming in. What's your goal? What do you want to announce to the world? What makes you so uncomfortable that if you share it, it's gonna get you out of your seat and work on it, not looking back, just focusing on that goal for this moment, taking it one day at a time. you know um, like my signature in network marketing, direct sales with Avon, I've only done one company, and that's Avon. I'm very loyal to Avon. I'm grateful. But if you look at everything that I have shared throughout the years, is dream big, dream big, dream big, lead by example. So imagine if I would have been a leader that said dream big and got into this point. I'm like, look at her. She said dream big, but what has she accomplished?
Mm,
You see what I mean?
yeah, you have
So
to connect your actions to the words you use.
yes, dream big. Okay, why should I dream big? She's been dreaming big for 10 years, and what does she have to show?
Mm,
You know what I mean? I
yeah.
mean, that to me is something that I was not gonna settle for. So
Mhm.
find out what makes you that person that's gonna say today, hey, my big picture is this. I am gonna do this, and why are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it for your family? Are you gonna do it like me? I wanted to earn my millions with Avon so my husband can retire. My
Yeah.
husband, I wanted him to retire, even though he didn't have that picture, but I did. So get your courage, you guys. Get courage. Just feel that in your heart and visualize what it is that you want to go, and go for it. Don't listen to anybody. You're going to have so many people say, oh, look at this. Look, oh, she's going to fail. Go get you a real job. Oh, there she is. No.
Look, I can tell you guys, as a Black woman in a predominantly male white construction field, oh,
Wow.
okay, rewind. As a young Black female woman in my profession, I if I had a nickel for every time someone like outright came out their face and said to me, change professions, don't do that. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it through school. The architecture program is grueling. It is designed for people to drop out. And I out of my freshman class, I think only four of us, and I'm the only female out of our freshman class who I think are still pursuing the career. If I remember correctly, yeah, only four of us that I know of. So yes, the program is designed for people to drop out. It is designed to be
Wow.
overwhelming, but if I had listened at the time, I was so determined and focused to just finish, like just to say, okay, I could do this. That determination got me through because it really was hard. You know, they weren't lying, but I feel like to tell a person you can't do this is horrible. But I had people, I'll never forget, one day I was on the train, I was studying, I think, welding symbols, something that if you're in the profession you would recognize. And this gentleman on the a train, he looked at what I was reading and he's like, oh, what's that? Welding? You're doing welding? You're in construction? And I was like, no, actually, I'm studying to pass my licensure exam for to be an architect. And he was like, an architect? Oh, so you want to be the boss on the site? And I was like, really, no, I just want to pass my exams at this point. And he was like, that field is really dangerous and it's more of a man's field. I was like, are you kidding me? You're really going to stand here? I didn't know this man from Adam. He just came out of nowhere. Like, that's really a tough field. It's really for men. You got to have the upper body strength. Da, da, da. And I was just like, I've been in this profession at that point for maybe 10 years. And I've never had to lift anything on a site. I draft, I draw, you know?
The stereotyping.
Right. I'm like, I sit at the computer all day. What are you really telling me about being an architect? You're not an architect, you know? So people, I could have taken it at that moment to say, wow, this guy, he's in the field, he's in the profession, he knows what he's talking about. But we always talk about having your confidence. And oddly enough, it was my training in Avon and overcoming objections that got me through that situation, because he was telling me something that I was really just not trying to hear. And I used my Avon skills to overcome his objections and say, well, you know, let me ask you a couple of questions just to pass the time while we wait for the train, because I really don't care about what you think. But we end up in this conversation. At the end of the conversation, you say, okay, yeah, good luck on your exams. It seems like you know what you're talking about. And I was just like,
yes, you know, it's discouraging. It's discouraging. I get
you
it,
can't let them.
you know, but you cannot focus on what people are telling you. It's just that it's never worked for me. So look at that story in real life.
It's in everything, guys. It's
Yeah.
not just this business. People are, you know, I feel like the world just puts people in your way to discourage you. And you will find, and Millie, you back me up on this or let me know if I'm wrong, but I found that the minute you set your mind to do something, all of a sudden opposition and obstacles come in your way. So I will tell you from my experience, they're going to come. There are going to be people who will tell you you can't do that. You're not going to succeed. There's going to be trouble on the horizon. It's not going to be easy. But we're not telling you to share it because sharing makes it easier. We're telling you to share it because sharing makes you more determined to overcome those obstacles when they do arrive.
And accountable and motivated, and you know, and you're going to attract, just like when I tell my husband is a person that he has a goal and he has to work on that goal first. Don't talk to him about 10 years. Not happening. So he's like, in the moment, I'm more in the big picture. So I always tell him, look, where do you want to live? I mean, where do you want to go? You know, in 10 years. I'm like, I don't want to see 10 years. But I say, you know what? I want to see the 10 years because we are going to be able to attract opportunities. We're going to be able to work on different things to get to that 10-year goal. So, you know, if you want to buy a house, I'm going to give you an example. If you're going to buy a house, why don't you go look at that house? Why don't you go with, you know, just feel like and take pictures. I'm like, you know, when we go look at model homes and we are not looking for a house, but we're looking for opportunities that maybe is going to lead us to something bigger in the future. So, you know, I like to feel how, you know, walking into a brand new house. I want to feel
New
what,
house smell.
yeah, sitting in that luxury car. I want to feel how, you know, it's something that I really want, how it feels, so that I can start getting motivated. So visit your dreams, visit your big goals. I'm not going to tell you you're going to buy your house tomorrow, but go visit your house, go take pictures. This is the house that I want. Oh my gosh, I can
Put it
see.
on your dream board.
Yes, I can see myself. I visited. Look at the layout. This is what I want, what I really, really want. So I'm going to work for it.
Yeah,
You know, that's a great feeling.
it is. And when you, whether it's you saying it out loud, I love that you shared on Facebook because Facebook does have those reminders after, 3 years ago today, this is what you shared. So it comes back to remind you. But whether it's on a dream board or written down, being able, when you come out, because sometimes you don't see yourself achieving stuff as you are, it's very easy. And I'm speaking to myself right now, but it's so easy to kind of get bogged down in where you are and what you're going through that you can lose sight of your big picture goal. But when you write them down, you can go back and say, wow, I got that. Wow, I did that. Wow, this was something that I was dreaming about and it came into fruition. And funny story, something you said a minute ago reminded me, I had on my dream board not the type of car that I wanted, but it was they had some like pink ribbon. It was like the wrapping. It had the car. It was a car with the car wrap that I liked, and I took the picture of that car and I put it into a Pinterest board of stuff that I wanted to accomplish. And the other day I was going through the board, and I don't know why I was looking for something. I was kind of just scrolling through, and I saw the picture of this car. Oddly enough, like I said, I wasn't saving it like this is the make and model of the car that I want. I just like the design on it. But the model of the car is the same style of the car that I ended up with. I was
See,
like, wow.
yeah. Another aha.
Yeah, yeah.
And Anita has a great point. She says she's looking at what she wants, and now the focus is how I can achieve it. Well,
Good
Anita,
job, Nita.
start just saying those goals. What is it? What is it that you want? Because sometimes, I want to be rich. Um, I want to move to New York. I want
Don't
to.
do that if that's your dream. No, I'm kidding. Get out of New York. Just
It's an
joking.
example.
Just joking.
I'm just giving you, a picture of something that's big. Okay,
Yeah,
so you want to move to this city. Where do you want to move? Look at the neighborhood, visit the neighborhood, contact the realtor,
yeah.
you know, and yesterday I was talking to my husband. My husband and I, we have dream big dates every night, and we talk about what we want. And
You and Nita are making fun.
yeah, I say no, New York. No, I that's stay away from busy cities.
Don't think us New Yorkers are mean. Me and Nita.
But I was. My husband was saying. I said we either want a boat or we want a jet ski. We've always had boats. We have like throughout our life like four different boats where we like to boat, but we don't have a boat right now. We live near the water. So I said I don't want a boat anymore. I want a jet ski.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, okay, so when do you want to buy it? And I said, look, I'm gonna work the holidays so that I have to bring up our savings and then from there pay cash for the jet ski.
Yeah.
So I said, I have an opportunity with this business that I could say, I'm going to work till the end to raise this amount of money. I'm going to work for it. That excitement, because I won this item, I want a jet ski and I want it by January, between January and April. It's not that, okay, I'm going to go get into debt. I'm going to buy a jet ski. I'm going to make payments. I want to buy cash. And if you have a business and you have the opportunity to make sales, you have the opportunities to recruit people, why not? Why not setting a goal where you have all this potential and say, you're going to go for it? I'm going to buy my house next year. And I mentioned the word house because that's like everybody's dream. The first thing I ask people, do you own your house? Are you renting? Do you own your house?
Yeah.
And when they say, no, I'm renting, I'm like, okay, let's work on getting you a house.
Yeah. Your own property.
Yes, your own house, your own property. Why don't you go look at your house? But many people, many I mean, not very many people take that opportunity to go look at a house and
Yeah.
say, this is where I want to be. This is what I'm going to work for. I don't know if they're afraid to dream big and then not achieve it. I don't know that feeling, but I tell you guys, it works. Look at the your car. You know, you said you wanted this car and you ended up with the same make and model.
That was freaky.
Yeah. So let's hold each other. Nita, share what it is that you want. What do you want to, what do you want? Don't be shy. You know, what
We
is it that
share
you
ourselves here
really,
all the time, guys.
yes.
We may not say outright, like, dear world, this is what we're working towards, but you hear us talking about it. And
Yes.
sometimes I'm just like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. That's a small goal or a large goal that I have. It's a part of my dream. So it is intimidating even to just raise your hand sometimes when someone says, who wants to buy a house? Who wants to travel?
Yes.
Sometimes even to just say, yeah, that's me. You gotta give yourself permission to kind of.
Mhm.
I have a friend who says, claim it. If you want it, claim it. Say, yes, that is me. I want that. I'm claiming it. It may not happen next year or the year after that. Maybe it doesn't happen until 10 years, but you won't know until you really start to decide that you want it and work towards it. It's not enough to sit around like, yeah, I want to live in my own house, but I don't want to do anything to get there, you
And
know?
you know, even if you don't get it, then what? So what? At least you tried. At least you said that you were going to do it.
Yeah.
So,
My brother has a term, die trying. Get there or die trying.
so let's focus on the holidays. You
Yes,
know,
we got
and
some great products coming
yeah,
up for the holidays that will help you get towards your goal. Start connecting those dots. Every time you see an opportunity, ask yourself, how does it get me towards my goal? So, Millie, what are we talking about today?
well, you know that I am loving the new Isanox. You are going to talk about the scrub
I
because I
am.
haven't scrubbed
I
yet.
have both.
I haven't scrubbed. So look, you have a product. Let's sell a lot of it. Let's recruit a lot of it. Let's make a lot of money with it. What can you do with just one product? What's your commitment? How many of these do you want to sell? How many of these you're going to do videos and tell everybody I have the most amazing product and share your links and get excited and visualize that goal. You want a house, um, product sales are going to get me there. Recruiting is going to get me there. So I'm loving this.
Tell us about it.
Yes. Number one thing, this has a lot of product in it.
I need to switch.
Where did you go?
I'm trying to put up the image. There we go. There.
Oh, this has a lot of product. The area that most problematic are my lip area and my neck area. So I use this a lot throughout the day. Look at all the product that it has. And yesterday you did a great demonstration, Georgiana. I love to apply it on my neck area. I have a lot of skin sagging, and this has helped me tighten up with a regimen. Of course, I do use a regimen day and night cream, but look how much product I'm still getting.
It
You
has
want
a
to work?
lot.
Yes.
It's
And
misleading because you think, okay, it's just this tiny little ampoule, but I'm glad that they did it that way because it shows you that you really don't need a ton of product. I feel like sometimes we goop the product on because we think that if we use a ton of it, it's going to work faster.
mhm. No, and this is goes. I still have product, and I already added it in all my problem areas: my forehead, the expression lines, my neck area for elasticity, my lip area. Um, you mentioned something last night that your lips, were more plumpy when you applied it onto your lips. I love that.
That was a tip that I got from you because you said you kind of use it around your lip area. I never thought about these like little lines around my
Mhm.
lips, and I
Yeah.
started to put it. And I woke up the morning like, oh, Kim Kardashian. Not not really.
Why
That no, that's a little bit much for me. I've got enough lip for myself, but I wanted them to be like smooth and soft and like plumpy, not fake.
not? Yes. My lips get
This
like
product
really,
gives you that natural plumpiness.
yes. They
I'm
get like
always
really
afraid of
dry.
those injections because I feel like when you get them, your lips, I don't know if it because it makes your skin swell. It feels like it gives a weird look to your lips. So I love that this increases your natural collagen production. So you don't get that weird, unnatural look that people get when they start sticking stuff into their lips.
Yes.
I
You're
wish Avon, hashtag Dear Avon, can we get a collagen plumping lip gloss, lipstick, lip moisturizer, please?
Yeah. You know, we used to have it. We used to
Yeah,
have the plumping.
I
I
want
love
this
that
stuff
product.
in a chapstick, in not a chapstick, a lip moisturizer.
Yes. For treatment.
Yes, can I Avon, please?
You never know. They're coming out with amazing, amazing products, especially now for the holidays.
Yeah,
So, what can you tell us about this scrub?
about the scrub. So the scrub, this is a product that I love. First of all, we never had a scrub like this before. I will tell you guys that this scrub is probably hands down the best scrub that I see. Look, I'm gonna put just a little bit. Now, normally with the scrub, it's kind of like a there's something that kind of carries the beads. But when I feel this, I feel like all of this, all this white stuff, that's
Hmm.
the scrubbiness. It's not a formula that has like a mask or a liquid, and then you get just the occasional scrubbies. All of these are scrubbies. So you
Yeah.
get a lot of scrubbing power, and if they're, like sand grains, I would say like salt or sand grains, but in that tiny little drop, these are all the scrubbies you get. It's quite a lot of scrubbing. So when you're exfoliating, first of all, it doesn't take as much time, and it takes less product, and it doesn't take as much time because these scrubbies are actually really exfoliating. And I'll kind of just give you um, the details. But if you look at the benefits, you'll see that the main ingredients are diamond powder and
Wow.
aluminum oxide crystal. So that diamond powder, you guys know diamonds are one of the strongest materials on earth. So
Hmm.
being able to exfoliate your skin with a little bit of diamond powder, you're really getting some serious exfoliation. So when you're done using this, first of all, you don't have to be there, scrubbing for hours. You put it on, I would say maybe 10 minutes, quick, gentle, because it is, you're getting quite a bit of scrubbies, but you do a gentle exfoliation, your skin looks so freaking fresh
Hmm.
and fantastic when you're done using it. And I think it's really great to pair. Well, first of all, you guys will see it's on sale.
Yes,
So
that's an amazing price.
this price, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That price is there's no reason why you shouldn't try it at that price. And if you're a representative, you get a discount. If you're a customer and you want to try it, you can join as a representative for free and
Yes,
get a discount.
for
So
your own discounts.
yes, you get a full discount on all the products. Everything you buy is discounted as a rep. So if you don't have an account, go open one. It's free. But
Yes.
this product, as a person who has, oily, acne prone, just really irritating skin, it
Yeah.
makes your skin look so fresh. So definitely try it. And it boosts your collagen. So in the same way that those beads that Malagra shared, the ampules, they
Hmm.
boost your collagen. This does as well. So even though it's a scrub, it has the ingredients that will help boost your collagen.
Yes, and for people who you can see if your skin is getting dull or bumpy, if you have a lot of oils in your skin.
I'm gonna have all of this on my keyboard.
Yes, I am a little lazy about my scrubbing and masking.
I was at first because I thought like normally, like I said, the scrubbers, it's more like a mask, it takes forever. But what I do is after I rinse my face, I just put a little bit of this, lather it up, do a quick, it's literally like the time that I would take to rinse my face, I just do a quick scrub. It takes a lot less time. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm able to incorporate it better into my regimen because I don't need to set aside time to exfoliate.
I love that. I love that. I love that, you know, when once you create a regimen, once you create something, a routine, and you have it there available, it's like, you know, easy to do. But when you don't have it available, when you don't have it with your skincare, then it's never going to happen. And that's what happened to me. So
In the
after
bathroom.
the scrub,
Or develop a routine. Like what I do is, for me, I will do, I know this is TMI, but it's the truth. I'll do my hair removal on Sundays. So I know I'm not going to exfoliate on Sunday because you don't want to irritate your skin and then put that stuff on. It will burn. So I'll do my hair removal on Sundays. And then on Wednesdays, I'll do my exfoliation with my collagen booster. So when you kind of get in the habit, you may not be using all the products every day, but if you have a specific day where you know that you use that product, for me at least, it helps me like, oh, it's Sunday. Where's my hair removal? And that way, it keeps me from growing a beard. And it's Wednesday. I know I have to do my exfoliation. So it just kind of becomes habit. Like, what day is today? Oh, it's Wednesday. Okay.
yeah, like Mask Monday.
Yes, I love that.
Let's do a Mask Monday. Exfoliating Sunday.
Yeah, make a schedule for yourself. It doesn't matter as long as you remember that,
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, today's Wednesday. I should have done my mask.
Yes, I
And
love
another thing, this polisher, I recommend just using it at night. I just feel that I forgot what the ingredient was. Let me see if I could show you guys. But the perlite, it produces the collagen production, and then the diamond powder helps you to absorb the serums and moisturizers. So we all know, whoops, stop bringing that back. We all know that when you're using serums and night creams, that's when your skin is naturally repairing itself. So you want to, if you want your serums and stuff to kind of get more bang for their buck, that's when nighttime is when you use it because you're sleeping, your skin is natural, your whole body is in repair mode because it's like your body's downtime. So I like to use the polish at night because it'll help my serums to absorb better. So I've been finding that. So pair it with the collagen booster that Malagra shared.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much for the feedback. And we had an amazing chat. Thank you so much, and everyone for joining us. So we want to know your goals, okay? We want to know what you're gonna accomplish with these holiday sale, holiday, holiday,
We know what you mean.
holiday selling. What are you gonna get out of your sales, your earnings? What is it that you want to do? How much money you want to save? How is 2021 is going to be different from the previous years? Doesn't matter what you did in the past. Let's focus on today. Let's focus on the future.
Yeah. Thank you guys all for joining us and chatting with us. We had a great time, and we hope that you guys find this helpful and that you're encouraged to set, write down, and share your goals. And really work towards them and not be intimidated by where other people are or what other people are saying. So we want to look forward to celebrating with you guys. So we'll see you here next week, Thursday, same time, same place, 11 o'clock on Facebook or on the replay on YouTube. So thanks for joining, Millie.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye,
Georgiana. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.